In today's video, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons on the brand new Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the brand new Galaxy S26 Plus in the flesh right here, and I've been using this device for a couple weeks now, and in this video we're going to be talking about some of the things I like about this device, and of course some of the things I dislike about this device. But first and foremost, getting into something light, we're going to go ahead and start off with the pros, and first and foremost, the first pro is going to be the build quality of this device. Very solid build quality on this device. Of course, front and back are going to be Gorilla Glass Victus 2. We also have aluminum sides on this device that feel very nice and premium. Overall, the device feels heavy and premium, but it doesn't feel so heavy that it feels crazy in your pocket like the Galaxy S26 Ultra. I feel like they have found this middle ground with the 6.7-inch display that this is going to be big. It's going to be looking like a big phone when you're watching your movies, TV shows, and scrolling through social media. But overall, if you use this for a while, it's not going to feel too big of a phone in your pocket that it's going to feel like a phablet or something. Second pro, of course, is going to be this big, beautiful display that we get on the S26 Plus. Of course, we get a 6.7-inch AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate and a high brightness that is great for video. So we have a 2600 nits peak brightness on this. So for everyday use, whether you're watching videos, scrolling through social media, playing video games, this is going to be a very nice, punchy, bright display, and you guys are not going to be disappointed with this. Third pro is going to be excellent battery life that you're going to get on the Galaxy S26 Plus. If you guys are one of those overseas users of the S26 Plus, you may have the Exynos processor inside of here instead of the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. But with my experience with the 8 Elite Gen 5 so far, even playing video games, scrolling through social media, this device should last you all day and then some. So there shouldn't be any issues right here with this battery life. Overall, it's going to be pretty solid. You're going to be able to get through a school day, going to be able to get through a work day. Not really too many big deals with the battery. However, there is a con that I want to talk about later on, and it's going to have to do with the charging rate and all that stuff on the S26 Plus, and the price of this device, of course. But yeah, overall, I'd have to say the battery life on this device is an overall pro. Next pro about this device has to be that we have 7 years of operating system updates. Also, we have Android 16 One UI 8.5 out of the gate, so we're running the latest Android software and of course the latest UI software experience with One UI 8.5. I have been really enjoying this experience so far as well, and I think it's one of the nicest experiences throughout any UI or ecosystem. I think Samsung's doing a really good job with UI 8.5, but 7 years of updates is something honestly to gander at. I think it's a really good thing, and Samsung and Google are honestly one of the only companies out there that have you covered for so long. So really do like that we have that 7 years of operating system update, especially if you're holding on to this device for 5 years plus. Next pro about this device has to be that we have, for our base variant of the S26 Plus, we have 256 gigabytes of internal storage. We cannot expand our storage. That's one of the things I hate about flagship devices. We can't expand via micro SD card. It seems like on the lower end devices is the only arena that we actually get to go ahead and do that on. But the S26 Plus right here, coming up from the S25 Plus, gets double the storage that we saw last year. So if you guys know anything about the S25 Plus, we had a base storage of 128 gigabytes, which is absolutely not enough for today's applications, especially if you're downloading tons of video games, if you're taking photos and videos, downloading files, playing emulators. If you're doing all that type of stuff, you are going to run out of storage very quickly. So it's nice that we get double the storage on the S26 Plus. Obviously, there's a caveat. It's $100 more than it was last year. So that's not the greatest thing in the world. This device is $1,100 instead of $1,000 now. But overall, I think that's a pretty solid trade-off, putting this device at 256 gigs base. Last pro about this device has to be the overall solid cameras. I wouldn't say these are anything amazing, especially compared to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, but overall we have some good all-around cameras on here. They're reliable photos, reliable videos, 3x zoom, and 8K recording is honestly pretty good. These are essentially the same cameras that you're going to be getting in the Galaxy S26, though, the regular base model of this device. So not really anything too crazy about this. Of course, there is a little bit of a juddering effect when we get into 30 frames per second on 4K and, of course, full HD. So that's one of the things that I think needs to be focused on the next few years on all devices across the board, because Apple isn't dealing with that currently, and Samsung still seems to not have figured that out unless we are filming at 60 FPS. But overall, solid cameras. You guys are going to get really good photo quality on here. It's really not going to be a bad camera at all for the price tag. Now, getting into the cons, the dreaded cons of the Galaxy S26 Plus. First and foremost, the first con, I think this is something that needs to be said right off the bat, is that there are very, very minor upgrades coming up from the Galaxy S25 Plus to the brand new S26 Plus. In fact, I can pretty much count all of the upgrades on one hand. First and foremost, as far as the display, we're going to have a 516 ppi compared to 513, which really isn't too much of a difference. We have Android 16 out of the box instead of Android 15. We have the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 compared to the regular Snapdragon 8 Elite on the S25 Plus. We have Bluetooth 6.0. We have Horizon Lock. We have 20-watt wireless charging instead of 15-watt wireless charging. And we get some new colors. And that's essentially it, going from the S25 Plus to the S26 Plus. So if you guys feel like you need to upgrade your S25 Plus to the S26 Plus, I feel like you don't have to, honestly. There's not really much that has changed right here. I don't think there's anything crazy right here, crazy new in general, other than that Horizon Lock. I thought that was a cool feature. Honestly, overall, a little bit gimmicky. I don't think most people are really going to get too into that. The average consumer is probably not even going to ever notice that in their camera. Very minimal, very basic upgrades from the S25 Plus to the S26 Plus. Our second con on the S26 Plus has to be that we have an IP68 rating, which honestly isn't bad. It's not bad at all. I think most people are going to be happy about the IP68 rating, but when you compare this device to many other devices that are similarly priced, or even much, much cheaper, like Oppo devices or Huawei or other devices out of the United States of America, those devices are going to have IP69. And when you see how much you're paying for a Samsung device right now at $1,100, why not put the whole kit and caboodle inside of here? Why are you keeping IP69 from us? Honestly, in 2026, this is kind of unnecessary. Pop IP69 in these phones. Don't come with that IP68 stuff. We have budget phones now that have IP68. Next con is going to be our charging rate on the S26 Plus. Of course, we got a little bit of a bump, like I said before, from 15-watt wireless to 20-watt wireless charge. However, overall, this is honestly still not even that solid. We have a 45-watt wired charge on this device, and we have a 20-watt wireless charge on this device. And what's insane is there are devices out there that are half this price at $1,100 that have like 75-watt charging, 80-watt charging, 100-watt charging even. So honestly, Samsung, I feel, is lagging behind in all of their devices from the S26 to the S26 Ultra in this department. Yeah, not great. Really not great out there. 20-watt wireless charging, 45-watt wired charging. What are we in 2020? I still think it gives us a reasonable amount of charge and a short period of time overall compared to earlier years, but I don't think it's really anything that impressive and anything that warrants $1,100, honestly. That is a crazy price tag to have on this, considering the charging speeds. And that brings us into the next con, the price of this device, $1,100. So of course, we came up from $1,000 on the S25 Plus to $1,100. Do you guys think this device really warrants $1,100? And especially for the people out there that are not getting this on contract or loaning out a phone every year and getting a new phone just by paying $30 a month or something like that. If you guys are buying this outright for $1,100, I honestly think it's kind of crazy. If you guys are going to buy this, of course, when it's on a deal for like $8.99, $7.99 around the holidays or something like that, or you get a special on this, I could see myself buying something like this. But overall, for the price tag, I think this is a crazy crazy phone for the price tag. I think you can get a lot more elsewhere. So yeah, price is very high for what you get. It feels expensive compared to other competitors and even its own Ultra model. And honestly, if you're spending $1,100 on the S26 Plus, just get the S26 Ultra. Get the new state-of-the-art privacy shade on there, privacy feature. $1,100 for a Plus device is crazy in this day and age. Get the Ultra. If you want something in between, I mean, go back and get the S25 Plus, or just wait till this drops in price. I think $1,100 for this device is honestly kind of crazy. And so my conclusion on this device, I don't usually do this for pros and cons videos, but my conclusion on this device has to be that this is kind of an in-between phone. So this is not going to be as compact as the S26, which is the reason people get the S26. And it's not as powerful as the Ultra. It's honestly not really a phone that's too necessary. Honestly, it doesn't have to exist. If you guys, again, are getting this on contract, if this is just going to be one of the phones that you upgrade to in general, and you're not paying a full $1,100 outright for this device, I don't think this is a bad device overall, honestly. I don't think this is too bad if you're not paying full price. But if you are paying the full $1,100 for this, consider getting the S26 Ultra, because for $200 more, you get a brand new crazy privacy feature in there, and a better camera, better charging, bunch of better stuff inside that device. You get an S Pen inside of there. Or just wait till the S26 Plus price drops and hold off for right now. But yeah, guys, those were my pros and cons on the Galaxy S26 Plus. If you have any of your own opinions, any of your own pros and cons, of course, leave them in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. This has been Stefan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.